Hello, everybody. My name's Jim, and on this episode of Bookish Discoveries, I'm going to talk about Obscurity on BookTube. MJ from Reading This Life recently had an interview with KDBooks where he mentioned searching for a book that only one booktuber reviewed. I believe it was called Origin. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm going to go back and watch the video and then put the book on the screen here. But the question that MJ presented that resulted in that answer was, when you are looking for a video or you choose whether or not to subscribe to somebody, is it the personality that draws you in, or is it more about the content? And his response was interesting because he gave an example of a time where only one person on BookTube had this review for a book that he was interested in. So anyway, to answer the question, he basically said that in that case, the personality really didn't matter because that person was the only one with the review of the book that he wanted. And the point that he was trying to make was that people are more inclined to watch you. I know that this isn't always the case. Some people just like you as a person, which thank you if you do, but people are more inclined to find you, search for you, watch your video if you have a review of something that they want. As a booktuber, as somebody who's new to this platform, I'm kind of running into that situation where I'm reading some pretty obscure books that I don't think people are actually going to search for. As I grow this channel, I need to start thinking about, where do I find that balance between picking what everybody wants to see and sticking to some of the more obscure books that honestly I'm enjoying. Like, these are books that I want to promote to you. I want to, help sell them to people and motivate you to read some of these books because they are actually good. They just don't have many ratings and reviews. In fact, there's one that I'm reading right now that I hope to finish before the May wrap up. And also, I hope it doesn't go downhill because I'm only about halfway through. But so far, it's really good. And I want to say during my May wrap up that it was a great book and I want you guys to read it. But I know that if I only have obscure books in my May wrap up, which is also likely going to happen, that people just aren't going to see it. And I'm not going to be very convincing because people aren't going to be watching my video to be convinced. And of course, this goes back to, the video that I made about pacing and the struggle to keep up and this and that. And while it does kind of flow in that same vein, it's not exactly the same. I don't feel any pressure with this because I have a ton of books on my to-read list on Goodreads that are new releases, that are popular. So that's really not an issue for me. It's really just figuring out how to balance it because I'm going into these more popular books that I need to read with the exact same expectations that I have for some of these obscure books. So I know that some of them are going to be hits for me. So I just need to I don't know. I need to split my brain and just be like, dude, Jim, this isn't about just showing stuff that people want to see. This is showing stuff that equally you want to read, but also being able to promote them along with some of these obscure books that you want to get out there and you want to motivate people to get. It's weird. It's a weird problem that I'm suddenly finding that I have. Thank you, KD. But it's good. It's good to think these things through. It's good to come in with a plan. But I also want to be that guy who is trustworthy enough to convince others to purchase or borrow a book with very few ratings and reviews. Let me know in the comments if you have this struggle too, where you kind of read some of the more obscure material and you have a hard time balancing kind of these new releases and kind of staying on top of certain trends. I want to. Just because, like I said, there are a lot of interesting new releases that are coming out this year that I am interested in. Maybe I'll do a video if you want me to on some of the things that I'm anticipating and that I want to read. But yeah, it's an interesting problem to have. And, I was joking around, giving Katie a hard time earlier in this video, but I do appreciate his insight on that, because it's something that I didn't really think about. Because I did just kind of come into this channel without much of a reading strategy, and I think that now that I have discovered more and I've uploaded enough to kind of get into a rhythm, like these are the sorts of things that I need to start thinking about in order to grow my channel. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've had these thoughts too, and maybe some strategies on what you've done to kind of overcome that or strike that balance. You know, some thoughts. I would like a community discussion to happen in the comments. Enough of my rambling. I've been Jim. You've been great. Happy reading.